Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
My overall opinion as to why we've drifted, black men and black women have drifted so far apart, and is making itself shown in this election, is because I've mentioned this to you before, Joe. The black community is a matriarchy. So ever since black men are babies, we're raised by our moms, we're raised by our grandmoms or whatever, and we're told, it's just like, hey, you listen to us, right? We're smarter than you. We know more than you. We know best. So do what we tell you to do. In this election, when you go on TikTok, you go on Facebook, you go on Instagram, you go whatever, and you hear black people, some black men, right? Because Kamala's still gonna get the majority of the black man vote, but it's just it's getting smaller. It's gonna be the smallest percentage wise,
like every day, bro.
Yeah, it's just gonna be smallest percentage wise versus any other Democratic candidate, and people are scared about that. But the issue is the fact that black men are not doing what black women want them to do makes them look at us like, first of all, you're beneath us anyway, and how dare you, like,
right?
Like how dare you go up against just do what we say. Matter of fact, and they're calling us dumb, they're calling us that because, okay, but we'll be smart if we just follow along and listen to you. Then we're smart again. If we just do it, if we do what you tell us to do, now we're the smart people again. So I think they just have, there's just a general lack of respect for the black man. The only time a black man gets respect in the black community is if he's rich, right? Because the rich black men, they get whatever they want.
And it depends too, though, because they've been dragging Cam Newton. They've been dragging Cam Newton ever since that.
Well, he deserved it. He's such a clown.
He's you know what I mean? But you're right. It's crazy how.
But Joe, wait, let me stop it. Even with them dragging Cam Newton, you think Cam Newton can't go into any city in America and bag the top 3 baddest chicks in any bar? So they can drag them online all they want. If Cam Newton hits them up in a DM talking about yo, come fly out, give me top, they're doing it.
I'm sure he's got a line of people who wouldn't mind being like his 4th or 5th baby mom.
Exactly.
Like, so I'm sure there are. You know what I mean? Like, but I was gonna say it's sad that, and I think this is part of my theory too as to why this election is so divisive. I think that all the issues we've talked about within like just between men and female, right? Men and women, but specifically with black folk, we've been talking about how damaged our relationships are, right? How we can't cohabitate, how we can't live in one house together, how we have all these broken families, how we have kids being raised, without mom and dad at the home or with just one parent, and just how we just have this disdain for each other, right? And it started off with just our relationships, but now I see that permeating into different facets of society. Now I see all these issues that we've had with our women, with the black man with the black women. Now it's spilling into our political lives, because now you see that this kind of, I don't want to call it a competition, but this back and forth that we've been having for like decades now, is coming full. Like it's like right in front of us right now. Like, if people thought this was a joke, if people didn't think that the black community and black relationships were hurting, it's like, bro, like look at the scene now. Look how it's affecting even just like our political, this election, this vote, how they pander to black men, how they cater to the black women, how, you know what I mean, how like it's here and we can't avoid it now. Right. And my thing is, after this election, I'm more curious about like, how do we fix this, bro? Because this is sad. Like, after this, if Kamala loses this election, they're gonna blame it on us, right?
Oh my God! Yeah.
Listen. Do you agree with that statement? Do you think that if Kamala loses, that they're gonna blame it on black men?
1,000%.
Right. So
1,000%.
It's gonna be rough after this month, bro. It's gonna be interesting. It's going to be really, really interesting. And I just wish we could fix this problem, because I've told Ty before, I'm tired of the gender war. Like, I'm tired. Like, we've talked about it extensively ever since the quarantine hit and these male spaces started like kind of proliferating and just like spreading out everywhere, and men had their spaces and they were talking about things and sharing wisdom and putting other younger cats on game. And now we've reached the point where it's like, we've talked about it so much. It's like, when is it going to change? Like, when are we actually going to like have more productive conversations so that we can fix these problems? Because it's going to get worse. As Ty said, as G said, it's going to get worse. And that's what saddens me, bro, that after this election, it's going to get worse before it gets better. And I don't know what worse looks like.
How can we get, like, the issue is the lack of respect, because it's a lack of respect for black men, because black women could do what they want and support who they want, and it's all cool. If black men do what they want and support what they want, now it's a problem.
But I think the root of the problem is that it's intentional. right? Like there's an
agree.
intentionality to this divisiveness, and like
I agree.
As we sitting there thinking, as I was sitting there talking about, I'm sitting there thinking about like, man, why is this election so much more like nuanced, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, with Obama, we was all on the same page, black guy, right? With Trump the first time, right? It was like, all right, let's go Hillary. Trump won. With Biden, it was a little bit more like, it was a little bit more simple. Like, all right, let's get Biden. Trump was in, he was kind of racist, right? With this one is different because Kamala is a woman and she's technically brown, blackish. So there's like this desire for us to, kind of have that same like, oh, we all on the same page, but we not.
Yeah.
And it's kind. I think it's kind of hurtful to them, right? But again, to y'all points, and I think y'all said this multiple times, bro. Our concerns aren't being heard, and so
no.
To the intentionality of it is the propaganda, bro. The rhetoric around black men and around black women, and we have to kind of become aware. Like Ty, even like now, bro, I'm not like calling you out on it, but just hearing some of your tone in terms of your response to why it is, that's something that we got to check in terms of how we responding, because no matter why it's that way, it's still up to us internally to figure out how we resolve it.
I'm not really sure. I'm not sure what you mean.
What I mean by that is like, so like when you like, it's like a lack of respect. Like they don't respect us. Like everything is this. The understanding why, like I think now we shift, and this is like how we solve it, shifting the conversation like, they don't respect us because the media paints us to be like this, so we have to kind of show that we're different in this way.
Be good boys.
No, then that's the thing, right? And we have to do it in a way that is
nah, I'm gonna stop you right there. No, I'm not on board with this, because when the only reason this is an issue is because men now have podcasts, they can talk, they can voice their opinions. Back when Oprah and all of them were doing their thing, men was getting trashed for like 20 years straight. Nobody said anything. Everybody was happy as a clam because men didn't even have opinions. Now that men have opinions, now it's a problem. Now we gotta fix ourselves. We gotta be more masculine. We gotta create,
bro. The difference is, like,
man.
as men, it's up to us as leaders, bro. And that's the thing.
We're not the leaders in the black community, though. G, we're not. No, I'm sorry to tell you, bro. We're not the leaders of the black community. We're just not. Why? They are. They run the black community. It is what it is. Why? But it's only an issue that we talk. When men talk about it, they say take their podcast equipment, shut up, blah blah blah. But when Oprah and them and all those other Jones was calling us down low and not smart and saying we got all these babies by all these different women, nobody said anything. Everybody was happy as clams. Now it's a problem because men are talking. And I think that's BS, bro. That's BS. It's not my fault for having an issue that there's a lack of respect. But again, maybe you should respect me just like you respect another person with another tone. Maybe that you respecting the man isn't an issue. You just don't respect us because you think you're better than us.
Again, but I think that, like, I think for us,
but we got to do something about that.
That perspective, because it is. These are women.
We do.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Yeah, like these are women. Ain't nobody else gonna do it for them.
Yeah, I was gonna say
we do. That's what I'm saying.
We have to,
bro. Like I got a woman, I got daughters, and they black women, and they hear the shit, and I gotta deal with the attitude, and I gotta persist through it. But as a man, it is my duty to figure that out, how to navigate them, to get them in line. Right. And where I'm saying for us as men, the accountability part is that, all right, it's not our fault that the situation is this way. It's our responsibility to make it better. That's what men do. So like they had podcasts and Oprah out. Again, I'm not calling it. I'm just saying, bro, that's not gonna move the needle forward. And as men, the difference between us and them is that they wanted to sit around for 20 years doing the shit. Right. We can do it for 4, and now it's over. I'm tired of it.
Yeah, we've been
doing enough of that.
We've done it. Yeah,
now we gotta move forward. And the reality of it is, it's up to us, and it's up to us to tell them, like, hey, all right, we're not doing that, but this what we doing. And to stop giving up. Like a lot of black men, a lot of us, we get tired, we get frustrated because there is a fight. But we don't understand that where they coming from, bro. They hurt. They've been through shit too. More than they have.
We all go through stuff. I'm not trying to.
No. But listen, it's
there's no excuse.
Let me cook for like 5 seconds.
There's no excuse.
Listen, bro. Listen. Trauma is genetically passed down. It is proven
y'all losing me
scientifically
with this
as
bullshit.
listen. So remember,
Trauma is
I
passed
studied
down.
chemistry. I studied chemistry, bro. Your genes get
You pass
embedded.
trauma
The
down. Yeah.
chemical structure of your DNA is
So only
changed by
black women
trauma.
got it. Only
No, but
the whole world. Only black women got trauma. So we should.
Tyrese,
It's
Tyrese, Tyrese, there is no the difference between everybody else in the world and their trauma that is addressed and the people say sorry and there's a process for healing. Black women have never had the time to heal from all of the fucking trauma. All they had to do, excuse my language, all they had to do was adapt, and that's what they've been doing. And then you know what the government did? They came in and was like, you know what? We'll help you. Leave your man. Get on welfare.
So we should deal. We should be man enough
We
to deal
have
with our
to.
trauma and their
We
trauma
have to.
and deal with the
We
disrespect and
have to
somehow
because
rise
no
above it
other
and make them
race
respect
of
us in some
no
way.
other
so
men are going to do it. No,
yeah.
like in every other
Yeah, I
race.
was
So like the Puerto Rican men, they gonna protect their women. The Asian men, they got their women, and whatever. So our women have been unprotected, and it hasn't been our fault. It's not our fault. Again, it's not our fault, bro. Like we was getting incarcerated, we was getting killed, we was getting taken out of the household, we was getting propaganda to look as though we were less than, so that they would come home and not be satisfied with us as good as we were. And you right, Tyrese. But now, just as you said, we have platforms, we have mics,
right.
and all of the conversation now has to shift in terms of what we're going to do to improve it.
Right. Right.
That's
So
it, bro. It's up
that,
to us, bro.
I
We the
gotta
only ones
co-sign on
that
that.
can do it, bro. We
I
the only
gotta.
ones that can get them
Yeah.
in line. And that's what they saying. They say, come get me in line. Come get me in check. But we got to
Come
do
get
it
me in
knowing that
line
they got
by paying all
So
my bills. That's what they saying.
all right. So
You
can I
come
let
into
me
the
let me chime
crib,
in on
and
this.
as
Let
a
me chime in.
man, you tell your woman, listen, bro, I'm paying all these bills. Your money is going into savings, though.
Good luck with that.
That's
And
a
then they'll
man.
say, you're toxic, you're a
I think
narcissist, I'm out of here. That's
No,
go
baby
ahead,
we
go
girl,
ahead.
might
that's the way you've
so
been looking at it. Like
it's
now we got to
yeah.
sit down and talk you through this because you've been through some stuff. You think men is something that you see on TV. You've never seen a man. I'm about to show you something. You gonna have to let me. But I'm gonna have to give you some grace because I know you're not used to this. You gonna fight me on this because they told you that a man does that. No, that's not what that is. So
Yeah.
now we gotta work through this. I gotta treat you like you one of my children. Like I have to protect and nurture you as my child, as my thing.
Nah, I
And
got
I'm
3
gonna need
kids.
some
I'll
love and
pass on that.
nurturing too. He said,
But
So
what
but
you
G,
that's not a
I'm
problem.
I, I'm with G. So okay. So I agree with a lot of what Gio said. It's funny because Ty spoke first, and I had a lot of stuff. And so two things, right, to address what Ty said initially before G said this, and I want to say something on that too. But Ty was saying they had years of just having Oprah, of bashing men, of talking about all, of not taking accountability. They had all their movies. They had The Color Purple. They had all their movies and everything, their channels to just prop up women and bash and crap on men. And they had all these spaces where they were just talking their crap, their feminist bull crap, right? I'm with Ty, and I agree with that. And but what I was trying to get at, and then G beat me to it, and I'm glad he did, is to say like, okay, fine, like all that is true, Ty, and I agree with you. All that, we've seen it, we've talked about it so many times. It happened, it's been happening, and my thing is like, how do we fix this, right? And I was asking that question before, like after this election, like what are we gonna do, and how do we fix that? And my thing is like, are we men or are we not? Because I feel like you can't for me, I always thought there are males and there are men. Anybody can, you can call it, just like there's fathers and sperm donors, right? There are men who are there and step up and take care of their kids or take care of other people's kids. I don't know, that ain't about me, but I was in a situation once, but it happens. But there are men who step up and they become that father, and there are people who just have babies and they're just sperm donors, right? So I feel like there are men and there are males. So as men, it's like I don't know, like some of this is rooted in my spirituality. I grew up Christian. I'm not anymore, but I still have a lot of those values instilled in me. But I do believe in the patriarchy. I do believe that men should be providers and should be leaders and should steer their families in the right direction. You know what I'm saying? So like when I look at this problem, I think, okay, like there's gonna be a portion of women that we will never reach. This is why I tell G, like, listen, this whole grace and this patience stuff, I feel you to an extent, G, but like, I have more patience for dysfunctional kids than I do dysfunctional adults. Like, I'm sorry, but if you ain't do the work and you ain't heal and you're in your mid 30s talking about you still got to heal, you still trying to find yourself, or somebody still has to tolerate you, or I need a man that can handle me, I'm sorry. I have more patience with younger kids who are lost and still healing through stuff. But as a grown person, I have less patience. So my grace and my patience wears thin, right? So I understand that we do need to have love and patience ramifications for some of our women. But I'm also under the understanding that, listen, the ship is the doors are going up on the ship. Like the flood is coming, everybody's on that boat, like with Noah. And I think there are some women or some people in general, but speaking about women who are just going to be out there in the flood, I think that you can't save them. I think that it's going to take a couple generations for this feminist experiment to finally die over, because the impact that feminism has had on our women, we're going to feel that for decades, and we're already feeling
Yeah.
it. And it's only
Yeah.
going to get worse. Like we are finally seeing the fruits of this feminist experiment, the sexual liberation, the promiscuity, the my body, my choice, the men ain't ish, that I can do all bad by myself, that I'm independent, that all these things that have been ingrained in them, right? We're starting to see the fruits of all of that. The chickens are coming home to roost, and we're seeing that. All the single moms, all the women who are in their 40s who still can't find a man and can't keep a man. All of our black women, like what we said, a quarter of black women will ever get married, and 80% of them are going to divorce their men. So they're the least married, but the highest rate of divorce to their husbands. So something has happened, and I think that now what G's trying to say is, like, as men, we have to we have to take control of the situation, Ty. That's why sometimes I've asked you, like, do you, and certain topics we've talked about, I'm like, Ty, like, do you want to see this improve? Do you want to fix this problem? Do you feel like we owe anything to our community to leave? Like, remember we had that conversation about what are we leaving behind for our women? What legacy? What do we have for our black women to build? White people control government. Mexicans have labor and construction. You know what I mean? Like, Indian people control IT. Chinese people have manufacturing. Like, what have black men left for black women to build upon? What do we have? We don't own anything, right? So it's just like, what are we going to do to take control of this situation and fix it? Because I don't believe, and some women might call this sexist, I don't think our women can fix this. I don't.
All right. So
It's been a matriarchy. You're right.
Right.
They
Right.
can't fix it.
Let me ask both of y'all. Let me ask you first. In any relationship, how do y'all get over an important topic or discussion if one party doesn't acknowledge that they did something wrong?
So
Ooh, I got
accountability.
Like, how am I supposed to fix something? I promise you,
Right.
I promise you, the black women that we're talking about don't think they
don't care.
Don't think they did anything wrong. So how are you going to fix a situation where someone doesn't think they did something wrong? I'm supposed to be that much of a man. I'm supposed to be Dr. Phil and Captain Planet, just saving everybody. There has to be a genuine conversation to be had. Call me a pessimist for this. I don't think that's ever going to happen. When the hell in your life has you ever seen any woman, black, white, or whatever, sit down and be like, yo, you know what? I was wrong. Not we were wrong. I was wrong. What you will hear is we were wrong. You don't when Gio and Joe, when you're wrong, you're wrong. When she's wrong, y'all both wrong.
Yeah.
So it will. My thing is, it will never happen. I'm never having a conversation with somebody that like. So for one,
yeah.
So you want me to acknowledge your genetic stress, whatever the hell y'all say. You want me to acknowledge your genetic stress, fix the black community, show you, come to you like you a kitten, and I'm an owner with a hand of milk. Like here you go. So you want me to do all this stuff and not even just pretend that the last 40 years never happened? Like, oh, okay, well let's Men in Black this thing. There has to be a conversation. So y'all can how do you get around that? So are you that much of a man? You don't need an apology. You don't need to, because if that's the case, we're not even having a conversation grounded in reality. It's just grounded in like fictional fantasies and and platitudes. We're not talking about the real thing.
Do you think men have taken accountability for our ish?
I'm about to bite myself, right? So I'm gonna say this. This is the reality of why monogamy is such a powerful tool. Right, so for a man to choose a woman, when you choose that woman and you embark on that journey, you kind of agree to go through that learning process together. That's what you do. Like, so when you take a wife, right, when a man takes a wife, that's why a man takes a wife. It is for him to know that, hey, I'm dealing with a woman. What you just said, you asked us that question. Have you ever dealt with a woman and you were wrong? Yes. And was she wrong? Never. That's every man. That's what every man has to do.
So we're just supposed to chalk that and just never acknowledge that they did anything wrong.
No. What you're supposed to do is that you have chosen the challenge for this woman. I'm going to show her and teach her balance.
I
We
think
are going
y'all
to
expect too much
learn.
out of men. I think
No,
y'all
bro.
acting like we're like
Listen,
these
no.
extra
I'm about to cook.
extraordinary
Let me
beings,
cook.
and y'all
I'm about
you
to
tripping,
cook,
bro.
bro. Literally, and this is the
Everything
reality.
ain't
And
the
it's not
man
just
fault, bro.
monogamy.
Everything ain't the man
It's not
fault.
the man part. It's about finding the balance, Tyrese. So it's certain things I've learned from Takira, bro, in terms of like about myself. There's a feminine side to every man, and there's a masculine side to every woman. And in a relationship, the perfect human being, the perfect relationship is balanced. So you have to teach her like, hey, you can't be emotional about everything, and I can't be logical about everything. Sometimes I gotta like actually feel some stuff. Sometimes I gotta actually cry. Sometimes I gotta actually be present and not just be thinking about the bills and all that stuff. And I had to learn that from my partner. And we like those conflicts, and a lot of the conflicts from relationships come from we get to this battle of right or wrong. That's what I was gonna say to you. It's like, yo, was she wrong? It's not about being wrong. It's
Sometimes it
about,
is.
can
If
you
she
learn
blows some dude
something?
down the street, she was wrong. It's not we were wrong. She was wrong. What are you talking? Yo, see, this why it's hard to
Why
have.
you gotta go to
So
extreme
the
Oh
with
my
reason,
blowing
reason,
somebody,
so
bro? I can't come
we'll
back with that. Like if she
we'll try
blows
to.
She
somebody,
was wrong,
I
bro. She
know,
was
I
wrong.
know.
She was
So Ty,
wrong.
I
why
I
we gotta
have
go to the extreme, dog? Like why couldn't it
that is an
been
extreme. That is an extreme.
why couldn't it been spending on Amazon or some shit, bro? Why it had to be the blowjob? Like
I think, but
I
to
can't
Ty's
deal with
point,
that.
no, you're right. So we're gonna try to find a point to like wrap up and like share some final thoughts. But like to Ty's point, I literally have an ex-wife that like if it ain't about my daughter, we don't talk. This woman never knew how to apologize. She never knew what humility was. She never took accountability for the hurt that she caused in my life, right? I found myself always having to be the bigger person, always the one to have to apologize. And and at a certain point, you just get tired of saying apologizing because it's like, yo, I've accounted for everything I have to account for. When am I going to see some of that reciprocated, right? So it got so bad that the reason me and her, we can't even have a amicable relationship is because I still remember that there are so many apologies I have not gotten. And I know that she'll probably take them to the grave. But because of the fact that she never owned up to them and never took accountability for them, me and her will never have a relationship where it's like, hey, how you doing? How are your kids? How are those kids
Right.
that I helped raise for a few years? Like we will never have a relationship like because it infuriates me that she what not only wasted years of my life because you can't get that time back, but like you never owned up all of your BS. And so versus now where I have a woman who practices humility, who takes accountability, and we rarely are have these arguments, and like it feels like it's so harmonious in our household now. It's like night and day. I have that relationship now, but I also have a woman who's willing to admit when she's wrong, which is like a unicorn, I feel like at times. You know what I mean?
Thousand
Like,
facts.
you know what I'm
Facts.
saying? But like the relationship is so much easier because she takes accountability. So I know what it's like to be with a woman who takes none of it, and it's horrible. G, like trying to lead and be a leader in that type of household, trying to be the man and try to teach them to do better. It's damn near impossible, brother. And I tried. But what do you do with women like that? Is what Ty's trying to say. There are some women who will die on that hill, who will not give
Leave
you that.
them
I'm sorry.
bitches.
What do you, bro? That's what I was saying. Leave them behind, right? I'm like,
I
listen, we
mean,
got to focus on the ones
some
who want to get on the
some of them get
program.
left. Some of them get
Yeah.
left.
I don't think it's a small number, bro. I
So
don't think
I think it's like
it's a small number,
90%,
bro.
bro.
No. So that
I don't
so
think it's a small
that
number,
goes
bro.
back to Joe's question in terms of how many men are like accountable, bro. So that like in Joe's like are men accountable? No, bro.
But yo, we got
Men
no
aren't,
choice
like,
but to be, bro. Like, cause we're normally wrong in a situation. Men are just genuinely, naturally more accountable to women because if not, every argument would last forever because she never thinks she's wrong, bro. That's just like I'm. Not, am I talking crazy here? Like, or do I just bump into like the the outliers of women? Most of the women y'all deal with just come like, you know what? I'm sorry, I
Well, I
didn't
don't
know.
know, bro,
Hell no,
because you also
y'all know damn well
you
that's not the case.
Ty, you also know the law of
Look,
attraction, right? You are what you attract.
I'm about to say, bro, because
So you got to think
I
about
think
what
a
kind of
good.
wavelength are you on if this is what you keep attracting, brother, man? Because I believe in the law of attraction. I ain't gonna hold you.
No, so this what I'll say is this, right? A lot of no, it is there are a lot of women. It's a lot of them. It is,
it
but
ain't a small
there
number.
are
It ain't like two. It ain't like two in Philly somewhere.
I think
Like,
it's a
but
lot,
there
bro. I think it's a lot,
but
G.
there,
I
but
think it's a lot, G.
there's so many more of them than it is than us. So you got to give them
I
grace,
think it's like
right?
50-50. I think it's like 50-50.
Their
I think.
percentages of trash is our percentages of trash. It's more them.
Say that again.
More women, like the percentage of women that are trash it's probably the same
I don't call
percentage
it
of men
trash.
that are trash.
I'm not calling it trash now. I
No,
think
I'm saying
that's a
men are
step too
trash.
far.
I'm saying trash is all. Like I'm calling everybody trash. But I'm saying the
You quote
percentages.
Joe Biden right now. Hey, garbage. Damn. Damn. All right, Joe Biden.
I'm talking about a specific group of women, right? Like I'm talking about trash men and women. The percentages are the same, but it's more women that are trash than there are men because there are more women than there are men.
Right.
And that's what women don't like to admit that. They don't like to admit that, like, yo, just because it's more y'all, it's more likely y'all that y'all ain't shit.
Yeah.
All right, listen, y'all. How about this?
Yeah.
Let's give some final thoughts. Let's like whatever your takeaway from this was. Just remember the topic originally was, has this election but divided Black people even more? You can either do something pertaining to that, or just give
Right.
your final nugget, your final gem, your final perspective, and then let's try to like wrap it up. So, let's go with Ty, because you've been fired up, brother. Give us your final thought on this dialogue we just had.
I mean, it's just a lack of respect. I don't think anybody here disagrees with that, right? I think we disagree on how to move forward from it. But my if there is going to be any kind of real come to Jesus moment, some real sit down heart to heart kind of stuff, there needs to be accountability on both sides. I'm not trying to hear I'm a man, so I'll take all the accountability, even for the things she did. I'm not doing that. I don't care how good the stuff is. I'm chilling. I'll take the stuff and move on to the next town. Put the little stick with the little bandana thing. Get on the train. Get up out of here. Like, but
Yeah.
that's my that's my thing. We're definitely divided, and I think it's going to get worse. If Kamala lose, you're going to see TikTok going. It might as well be called that joint like Black Man Hate Talk. They going to have to call it like
Bad.
straight up.
It's gonna be bad. All right, G, what you got, brother, man?
In terms of if this election is dividing the country, yeah, man. Kamala being a woman, Black, Trump being Trump, it was the perfect thing. That I think the Black man is tired of the Democratic Party as a whole, and Kamala is just catching the stray of like, nah, bro, we tired of y'all. Like, I don't care if she Black.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like whatever.
Yeah, she
like,
is.
we just
she
just
could be Chinese. It would at this it would matter. Like, yeah.
No, bro. So she catching the stray, and unfortunately, Black women are like they taking it personal.
Yeah.
And Black men, we stand in our ground because rightfully so, the Democratic Party has been messing us around for a while. So it is definitely dividing the country. How it gets better, right? Ty, you right. It's accountability on both sides. Like, we have to realize. I think what we have to realize from this election is that we have to get our house in order. We have to get what
Right.
the Black community's top primary concerns are, right? And like establish it as a collective from both male and female so that we can get stuff done. Because moving forward, that's going to be the only way we actually get some type of benefits or some type of reprieve, some type of give from these politicians. We keep being told to vote like they relying on us now, right? They trying to bully us into Black men show up, and we still don't got shit to show for it because they don't have to promise nothing, and they see us, we divided. They just like, yo, we gonna sick y'all women on y'all. They gonna make y'all vote. They not even like, yo, we gonna give y'all this. We gonna give y'all husband companies. Tell them to come vote for us. We gonna give them tax cuts. They just like, no, tell them to come vote for us. And y'all soft. So,
Right.
Y'all soft.
That's it.
Well,
they think we soft.
yeah, and I agree with both Ty and G. And the only thing I'll add is we've been talking about this disconnect from our women for so long, but I firmly agree that knowing that women have to take accountability because they have not been taking accountability, that they got to hold themselves accountable. The sisterhood has to hold themselves accountable. They have work that they have to do, and they have to admit where their faults are and how they've been wrong. Right? All that is true, right? But even with that, I still say if this problem with our women is going to get fixed, it's going to be on the men. And I know some men are going to be like, "Oh, why it got to be on us?" I'm like, bro, because we're men. What are you talking about? That's the way it's always been. Y'all want to be leaders, y'all want to be providers, y'all want to be patriarchs, y'all want to be all that. Okay, that's fine. So that also means that you're going to be a problem solver. That also means that you're going to lead and guide your women and your children. That also means that
Toxic.
you're going to at least walk the walk. so that you can like emulate, so you can kind of show that, so other people can see that, and to help other young men and be like, bro, like you got to walk a certain way too. So I honestly feel like this is not, if men have given up and washed their hands with this, with our women, if they just want to sit back and just let it burn, then it's going to burn. And I think it's really on men to step up and say, listen, some women are going to get left behind, but we got to get on this program. We got to get our community back on track. We got to get our young boys on track. We have to be these leaders that they want us to be, and then work with those who are willing to work with us. So I guess that's my final thought too. So yeah, I'm good. You can wrap it up, Ty.
I think. Listen, I think it was good to end it on a positive note. I personally think it's gonna burn down. So
I want to see it burn, bro. I'm not there, man. I'm scared of what it looks like when it burns, bro.
Nah, yeah.
Well,
man.
listen,
it gotta be. It has to be like dual, right? We have to like. If
you
we
said
are
do over.
going to,
You said doable.
dual, like a dual
Oh.
effort, right? If we are going to rise up to the position, so pre 1960s, right? After the African American dollar ownership, all that was up, right? We were working as a unit. For us to get back there, men got to get back to being men, and women got to get back to being women.
But I also,
That sounds
sexist.
I'm
That sounds
right, I'm gonna wrap it
sexist,
up.
G.
Yeah,
I'm about to
right,
say,
right,
take
right.
that how you
I
want.
don't
Toxic.
believe that. I'm just saying.
Toxic.
Take that how you want.
I
Take
don't
that how
believe
you
that.
want.
I'm just saying.
That's all I'm gonna say. Take that
But
how you want, man.
I'm more aligned with Joe though when he said, "Yo, it's gonna take a couple of generations." I think. Listen, I
Yeah,
think
they got to die off.
it's gonna have to. People gonna have to be homeless. People gonna have to be. You know what I mean, take some trips out to Dominican Republic and can't pay for their ass to get back home. Like it's gonna have to be some hard times, and
Y'all
people
see
gonna
more
have to be
homeless
like, "Yo,
women,
you know
right?
what? There are more homeless women."
Have you guys
It's
seen
gonna
the
have to-
increase in homeless women? I used to see mostly
Yeah.
men. Now I see shorties out there, and I'm like, yo, I see way
and
more
kids
women
and
out in them
kids.
streets with kids. Like, it's
Yeah.
not a game, ladies. I see more of y'all in the streets now. I didn't see that before. Never
So I
Asian
think
though. I never seen a
no,
homeless
you
English
never
person
see.
in America.
But I
It's
think
weird,
you
right?
see that a little bit more.
I've seen
They-
homeless Asian.
I think you
I've
guys.
never seen a homeless Asian person.
Tell them to come on home. Come on home, honey.
Kensington got every type of fiend.
Nah, not
you can
Asians, bro.
imagine.
Not
Nah,
Asians.
Joe
Not
lived out
Asian.
there, so he
I'm
the
telling you,
subject
I was
matter
out there
expert.
for a little while when I won that house in that suit. I was in Zombie Land, bro. Ain't no Asians in them streets, bro.
Bro, Asians out there, bro. I seen the Asians.
Yo.
I remember seeing
Joe,
it. My
Joe,
first Asian
Joe-
fiend, bro.
Gee, Joe, he was there. You just drove by.
No,
Ty
I
told
know,
me he
but
visited one time. I was there, bro.
listen,
You just drove
what
by.
I'm
So maybe you saw a dude with like a one of those surgical
No,
masks on
bro.
or something, and the
I
sun
remember-
was the sun was beaming in his eye or something, and he squinted his
No,
eye.
nigga.
But
I agree with Joe. You don't see many of them. I seen a couple, and I was like so taken aback. I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh,
That's
shit."
wild. It's really getting
I was
hard,
like,
bro.
I was like, "Yo, it's an Asian boy. That's a Chinese dude. Like, this nigga on dope. Oh shit."
He must have dishonored his family or something, cause
No, I probably be floating on the day his family ain't catch him. Like his family gonna catch him and take him in the house. Like, no, we do drugs in the house. You don't go outside and disrespect our family, brother.
well, listen, family. Let us know what y'all think. Like, comment, subscribe, and till next time. But listen, I love the women too. Don't get me wrong. Like, don't get the wrong idea, right? Don't get the wrong idea. But till next time.
Until next time, y'all.
Next time.